We're live. We are alive. Traveling. Be back home in Montreal soon, God willing, with God's help. And tomorrow everything will be, God willing. It's Hashem, regular schedule. Everything will be, as they say, back to normal. Oops. Okay. We begin chapter 28 in Tanya. This chapter speaks about thoughts, negative thoughts. We spoke about in chapter 27 about those thoughts. 28 continues that when you have those thoughts during your learning, like now, or during your prayers, what do you do with it? When it's not during, when you're doing your own thing and you have negative thoughts, so then you got to be joyful. Why be joyful? Because you have an opportunity to do a mitzvah. You're doing your own thing, eating breakfast, doing work, whatever, and a negative thought comes. Now you have a chance to do a mitzvah, right? Not going after your heart's desire. But what happens? It comes, you're already doing a mitzvah. So you might get down on yourself and you might think, you're praying and negative thoughts come to you. So you might think that that's, a bad thing. Remember, we're talking about a Beinani. We're not a righteous person who has transformed it. So the Beinani and us, Beinani in training, what's happening is as follows. And this is like a very unique idea. And maybe some of you have experienced this before. Like in a wrestling match, when one opponent kind of gets the upper hand, what does that do to the other? It gives them a shot of adrenaline. That shot of adrenaline pushes them forward to get more strength to overcome the opponent. Well, that's the way it is physically in this world. That's the way it's spiritually, because that's the way it is spiritually. If you've ever had that you were concentrating on your prayers and then, negative thoughts came in, you pushed them away, or extraneous thoughts. It doesn't have to be even negative in prayer. It's extraneous. It doesn't belong there. And then what happens, believe it or not, you work harder to focus, worse thoughts come into your head. And you think to yourself, hey, what's going on here? I'm praying and worse thoughts are coming into my mind than I would not normally and naturally have. So you think very low of yourself and very bad about yourself. Like that wrestling match. The animal soul is seeing that you are not living on autopilot, which that itself is an animal soul response to life. But you're focused on your Tanya right now. You're focused on your prayers. And prayers, it's in particular where it happens. Not as much in learning, because there's a greater propensity for focus. In any case, you're focused, and extraneous thoughts come in, you push them away. Guess what? Worse thoughts come into your head. Why? Because the adrenaline is coming to the animal soul, figuratively speaking, it's seeing that you are being successful and overriding the animal soul, so it gets a greater shot and it tries harder to bring you down. So it's a sign, those negative thoughts, that you're actually Negative thoughts, when you are in prayer, for example, and you're focused, it's a sign that your prayers are good. Your prayers are valuable. Your prayers are wonderful. And the animal soul is just trying to derail you. Don't get mistaken and thinking, oh, what are my prayers worth? Well, how come these thoughts are coming to me? No. That's an amazing empowerment. That's an amazing thought that we have that capacity, right? That we think that the negativity that we have when we are really focused is, obviously God doesn't like my prayers. Obviously, I'm not worthy of good prayer. No, you're praying. Again, that's only if you're focused, and then and you try to double down and focus harder, right? Because of the extraneous thoughts that come. And that double down, now the animal soul has to double down, and it gains its, again, like in the wrestling match, when one opponent is succeeding, the other one, the adrenaline kicks in and tries to overcome. So just note that you're doing well. Keep that focus. Move forward with your prayers and just focus. Or if it's whatever other mitzvah that you're doing, that these things come to you. All right, folks, we will continue with our conversation, God willing, tomorrow from Montreal, back at home. Right now, I'm traveling, so, God willing, we'll be home in regular routine starting tomorrow. All right. God bless you all. Have an amazing, wonderful day. Thank you for joining.